You ruined everything! You destroyed my wedding! I screamed at my best friend in the bridal suite. You're welcome, she said flatly, not even looking up from where she sat. I couldn't believe those words came from Victoria's mouth. She'd just stood up during the ceremony and objected to my marriage in front of 300 guests. The words that only happen in movies. The words no one ever actually says. My wedding was destroyed and she was saying, "You're welcome," like she'd done me some kind of favor. How could you do this to me? I grabbed her shoulders and shook her. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Victoria finally looked up at me with red-rimmed eyes. I need you to listen to me. I know you hate me right now, but you need to hear why I did this. There's no explanation good enough for what you just did. My voice was raw from crying. You humiliated me in front of everyone. My grandparents were there. Ross's entire family. 300 people watched you destroy my life. I couldn't let you marry him. Victoria's voice was desperate. I couldn't stand there in that church and watch you bind yourself to that man for the rest of your life. We spent months planning this wedding together. She'd been there for every dress fitting and cake tasting and venue tour. She'd helped me pick out the flowers and the music and the color of the napkins. She'd thrown me the perfect bridal shower and bachelorette party. She'd given a beautiful speech at the rehearsal dinner just 12 hours ago about how Ross and I were meant to be together. I didn't understand why she was talking about Ross in that way. This morning had started so perfectly. Victoria had woken me up with coffee and pastries in the bridal suite. We'd gotten our hair done together, laughing about old memories from high school. She'd helped me into my dress and told me I looked like a princess. The photographer had taken hundreds of pictures of us getting ready. Victoria had been glowing with happiness for me. Then everything changed the moment we lined up for the processional. Victoria had gone quiet and strange. Her hands started shaking. She kept checking her phone and looking at Ross. When we walked down the aisle, she wasn't smiling anymore. She stood beside me at the altar like she was at a funeral instead of a wedding. The ceremony had been going perfectly until the priest asked for objections. That's when Victoria grabbed the microphone from the pianist and said those two impossible words. I object. The church went completely silent. Ross looked like he'd seen a ghost, but in the blink of an eye, it turned into something darker. Victoria, please tell me why. I sat down across from her now in the bridal suite. Make me understand how you could do this. She pulled out her phone and set it on the table between us. 2 weeks ago was Ross's bachelor party. Everyone else had left. I was in the parking lot getting my car because I'd driven separately. Ross followed me out. My stomach started to turn. Victoria, what are you saying? He cornered me against my car. He said things about how he'd always wanted me, how I was even prettier than you, how one last time before the wedding wouldn't hurt anyone. Her voice was breaking now. When I said no, he didn't stop. When I tried to push him away, he grabbed my wrists and stopped. I couldn't breathe. This isn't happening. This can't be what happened. Not Ross, not you. Victoria rolled up her sleeves to show me her bruises, purple and yellow marks in the exact shape of fingers around both her wrists. She pulled up a video on her phone showing the parking lot security footage. Even in grainy black and white, I could see Ross pressing her against the car. I could see her trying to get away. I could see him not letting her. I wanted to tell you, but I didn't know how to. How could I destroy your wedding? How could I destroy your whole life? But then today at the altar, watching you about to promise yourself to him, I couldn't let it happen. I couldn't let you marry an attacker without knowing the truth. I stared at the bruises on her wrists. 2 weeks. She'd carried this for 2 weeks. She'd smiled at the rehearsal dinner knowing what he'd done. She'd helped me get dressed this morning knowing she might have to destroy everything. She'd stood beside me at that altar fighting with herself about whether to speak. You saved me. The words came out as a whisper. Oh my God, Victoria, you saved me. She started sobbing then. I'm so sorry about your wedding. I'm so sorry I had to do it this way. But I loved you too much to let you marry him without knowing. Even if you hate me forever, at least you're safe. I pulled her into my arms. My wedding was ruined, but my best friend had saved my life. You're welcome, she'd said. She was right.